reason not to go forward with sentencing?
No such reason, Your Honor.
Anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I would like to make comments on behalf of my client. I would indicate that in this particular situation, we are seeking community control sanctions. I do think that Mr. Smith would be an ideal candidate for community control. It appears that there's been a gap between now and the last time that he had a conviction. It doesn't appear that he's had a prior prison sentence. I know that Mr. Smith has cooperated with the pre-sentence report. He's abided by his conditions of bond. Specifically, he tested negative for all drugs during his screening process with the probation department. I know that Mr. Smith is employed. It's outlined in his pre-sentence report. He's self-employed, but he works in the music industry. He has a studio. He also indicated that he recently inquired into picking up some additional work around the holidays, delivering packages. It's a place out of Avon, and he's been in touch with an individual there. As a result of those reasons, Your Honor, I would ask that the court impose community control sanctions. I think that the biggest punishment in a case of this nature comes in the way of the license suspension, especially in a situation like this where there's a prior, so that in itself is a very large punishment. And I would ask for no additional jail time, so no additional residential sanctions, but I know Mr. Smith should be entitled to credit for a handful of days that he completed in the jail prior to posting bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
So prior to coming out here, we said there's no reason to not go forward with sentencing. You had a chance to discuss the license suspension issue with your client?
I did, Your Honor. I pulled up the pre-sentence report so that I could go over the exact details and dates of the prior convictions.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, you have the right to address the court before your sentence. You can say anything you like. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I deeply apologize for this situation. I made a wrong decision. I know moving forward I'll make better decisions. And I just apologize and accept any consequences that happens. I just want to thank my lawyer for helping me with this situation.
Thank you. Mr. Hinton, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Mulligan for the State of Ohio.
The state would recommend community control under the terms and conditions the court deems appropriate.
Thank you. Court has reviewed the pre-sentence report investigation, consider the facts and circumstances of the offense involved, the nature of the offense involved. I've considered what's been said here in court today by Mr. Hinton, the defendant himself, the prosecutor, the recommendations from each side. All this is considered by this court in light of the purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. As for the factors in 29-29-12, nothing indicates the offense is more serious in regards to the factors in 29-29-12. However, the court is also required to consider the factors specifically set forth in 29-21.331 for this type of offense, which deals with the manner of the defendant's driving. In this regard, the court notes that the defendant was traveling over 80 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. That makes it well more serious than normal. He also at least went through 2 stop signs observed by the officer, which is factor listed there. That makes it more serious as well. His conduct created a significant risk of physical harm to other motorists, pedestrians. No factors indicate it's less serious. As for recidivism factors, the court finds defendant does have not only a history of criminal convictions, but a history of failing to comply with orders or signals of police officers. This is the second conviction for that specific offense, but he also has a prior conviction for an attempted failure to comply, which he received obviously a break on last time he was in court, because they reduced it to that. So this is the 3rd time now that you've done this, fleeing police. You say it's because you have bad run-ins with police officers. Look at your traffic record, shows me it's because you drive without a license and you know it, and you're going to get in trouble if you get stopped. You've got a history of driving under suspension for the last 15 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 convictions for either driving under suspension or not having a driver's license. So I don't really know if the license suspension that you indicate here is the worst thing, if it's really a punishment for him, because it doesn't matter to him anyway. He's been driving for the last 14 years without a license. Doesn't comply with orders of courts. That's a factor indicating recidivism is more likely. As previously strike that. No factors indicate recidivism is less likely. Under 29, 13B1. I don't find any factors. I will find at this time, despite this being the 3rd time that he's gotten in trouble for this type of conduct, that prison is not consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing, and he is amenable to community control sanctions. So I will place the defendant on community control sanctions for a period of 2 years. I am going to order that the defendant serve 60 days in jail. He has credit for 3 days he's already served. I'm going to order that when he's in jail that he enter and complete the decision points program, successfully complete that program, follow whatever recommendations are part of that program. Further conditions: the defendant is not to use any drugs or alcohol. That includes no marijuana. You're to submit random urine screens. They must be negative. Positive screens a violation. You can't tamper with the urine sample, bring in fake urine, someone else's urine. That's even worse than testing positive in my book. When you get out of jail, I want you to get a drug and alcohol evaluation. Follow whatever recommendations are made, if any, for any type of counseling, treatment, AA, whatever they recommend will be a condition of your probation. You're to obtain and maintain full-time employment. Mandatory license suspension is Class 1 suspension is required, and I will impose a Class 1 suspension, which is a lifetime license suspension. Defendant's ordered to pay all costs and supervision fees. specific condition, aside from the driver's suspension, is you're not to drive a motor vehicle. I want that as a condition of probation. So it doesn't require necessarily a conviction for DUS or being stopped by police. If you're driving a vehicle, you're violating your probation. Mr. Tompkins, is there anything else I should consider here that you want me to?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Smith, do you understand the conditions of your probation?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
No.
I need to advise you, if you fail to comply with any of these conditions, any of the rules of probation, if you leave Ohio without permission from the court, or if you commit another crime while you're on probation, a motion to terminate your community control sanctions will be filed. And if it's found that you violated, I could extend your probation up to 5 years. I can impose more restrictive sanctions against you, or I could terminate your probation and send you to prison. And if I did that, it would be 18 months in prison, and that would be consecutive to any other sentence you're serving at that time or that you may be getting sentenced to at that time. It must be consecutive as well. I will release the defendant's bond at this time, too. Ms. Mulligan, is there anything else for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Hinton?
Your Honor, in speaking with Mr. Smith, he is requesting a very short stay of the sentence just so that he could get a few affairs in order. I'd have no reason to think he wouldn't report.
No, he's had 5 weeks to get his affairs in order. He knew the sentencing was on this day from October 2nd, so that request is denied. Thank you.
The judge just handed Michael Smith a lifetime license ban and jail time, a decision that shook the courtroom. Do you think the judge was fair or too harsh? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real courtroom moments like this.